And the cow, I was like, but it looked like it was people. Don't get the Monroeville first. I got it first. There's certain Wi-Fi, it won't work. I went around the rail with Monroeville boat. All the other things I thought, where this is a problem we've had. Got to stay in the floor. No problem.
Okay. You can go ahead.
The amendment of the zoning ordinance.
So the planning commission has met a couple times and discussed over a period of a month or so, proposing an amendment change, or not a change, but a specification in the zoning ordinance to require a minimum square footage of 1,000 square feet in an R1 and an R2 district. So nothing would change in the zoning ordinance except the insertion of that.
That do away with the tiny house.
That would do away with the tiny house in R1 and R2. Does that make sense, everyone? There were, and this came about because there were a couple of people who called the city or called real estate agents, and they said, we're interested in buying this large lot in our R1 district, and we want to build a tiny house. A tiny house is technically 400 square foot, and it has a different set of building codes. Sometimes a lot of tiny houses are on trailers, like roll around. These are not roll around types. They just be a built house. And one of the members of the planning commission works for a bank, and his assertion was it rose when he looked into it from the banking and appraisal side. It throws all the comparative properties off. So if somebody wants to buy the next lot and build a 3,200 square foot house next to a 400 square foot house, it throws everything from a banking standpoint. So the decision was, in order to stabilize and maintain the stability of our R1 and R2 districts, require a minimum square footage of 1,000 square feet.
You said
I don't
R1,
know what's even.
you saying R1 and R2 district
Yes, ma'am.
residential
Zoning.
design.
Why, I'm questioning why you even have that low of a number.
That's the number they came up with.
It's okay. I didn't know if that comes up with some reason that they don't call them tiny house, they don't do the pre-engineered drop in.
So the tiny house is 400 square feet or less.
Okay.
Now you can have a loft for 800 square feet, but the footprint itself.
Okay.
But there's a whole separate set of issues, like you don't have to have a stairmaster. There's a whole bunch of code issues that are totally different for a tiny house than for a regular
A
construction.
lot of them are pre-engineered, and they come in, even though they're self-contained, they're not mobile, when they come in mobile, a lot of times drop them in there, don't they? I mean, they're,
No, that's not necessarily a tiny house.
Okay.
That maybe a tiny house can be like
I
that.
know there's one company that advertises they're like $70,000, and there's a tiny house, and they were pre-engineered like you want.
Right. I mean,
Drop it in the spot, ready to go.
but if it's a tiny house, then it's a 400 square foot or maximum.
Okay. I didn't know that, but I don't know that.
Okay. So is there an ordinance for us to consider tonight, or?
We can advertise for it.
We could do so that
I'll have to get the ordinance for it, and then we would do a first read on it. And so I can get it sent out to you all.
I would
So you
think we
can-
can vote on it
yeah.
tonight. Yeah. But I'm in favor of doing it, but
It needs to be. But I was even questioning 1,000 square feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Larry said, I questioned 1,000. I think it's-
Well, I mean, if y'all discuss amongst yourselves,
I would think 1,200 would be more.
That might be a little high. I've been in some houses in existing neighborhoods, we measure and that might be 800-900 square feet.
Okay.
now, there is the option, for instance, some neighborhoods have R1 and the lots are small.
Yeah.
And in an event like that, they can apply for a hardship variance to accommodate the lot.
I mean, the subdivision right at you was not built until not many years ago, and it's 50-foot lots. 50-foot front lots on there.
Exactly.
On
So,
Road Street.
so if you wanted to build a house on that could fit that lot, you would, because of the setback rules, you would have to have variance anyway. So, for, let's say your street is R1, which it's not, but if it was R1, and somebody wanted to come in and build a house just like that house next door to you, then when they would come before the zoning board of adjustments and ask for a hardship variance to accommodate building setbacks on that lot. But if you have a lot in Canterbury, it's a different subject. If you have a big lot, so,
The subdivision there.
well, yeah, maybe so, but there are still variances on those, but it's the square footage of the house is not called out, I don't believe. But I don't, it also protects older neighborhoods. Like Fagan Street, where there is a large property for sale that could accommodate 2 houses. And that's the property that somebody wanted to put a tiny house on. And it would throw all the numbers of the adjacent houses off.
So are we good with minimum 1,000 square foot? Back for the house, then I was thinking that was probably not that too many of those in that category.
Right.
But,
What'd you say, 1,000?
originally that's what the zoning commission had proposed was 1,000 square foot minimum.
That's good with me.
So we'll prepare the ordinance to reflect that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see, the other items that I have on here is a new hire for the Monroeville PD with Tyler Sigler. A half fee waiver for RSVP at the community house for their Christmas dinner, which I think traditionally we've done that. Okay. The Monroeville annual Christmas parade. I think that was included in the package through the chamber. Take the Monroeville special events license. That was for the chamber also. The general fund budget. Have a couple of issues that come up on the general fund budget that's kind of thrown us out of balance again. I had originally proposed that we meet on this Thursday afternoon to go over capital improvements, but we may have to go back probably just this issue with the general fund budget. So if y'all are in agreement about, I don't know what time works for y'all, 4:30 or somewhere in that time frame, Thursday afternoon. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll come back and address those issues then. I do have the Southern Light franchise is an executive summary of the ordinance that is going to be available. I think that was sent out to you guys. It's been reviewed by Chipper and Greg Fender, and I think all of the issues have been worked out. We're actually getting an increase in the percentage of the net. Wait a minute. This is net of the gross. Anyway, it goes from 3% to 5%. And it's a 15-year agreement. We also, out of that, we get included 4 strands of dark fiber which is going to come in beneficial to the city in the future. So the recommendation from all our legal folks is that it's a good franchise agreement, and they recommend that we go ahead and approve.
This guy would be $400-some an hour for, did he come up with this?
But he gave us, we're probably to the good about 22,000. Yeah.
But I was just confirming that
Yeah.
that's still involved, when you asked about people being involved, right?
And that's one of the reasons we got to put.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine, I just
All right.
making sure he was one of the ones that has some input in this after we want to do it.
There was something in here, and I don't see it right now about if we were underpaid by 2% or something. You never seen that?
Mhm. There's a penalty imposed upon them if they go through and they, we're underpaid.
By 2%.
Yeah. I think it was something like 2%.
I just.
Disappeared. Or you took it out of it.
Let's see, it says right of way use fees, gross revenues. Okay. They will pay in addition to the payment of some due interest on the due date, annual interest rate for the entire amount owed for any period of time beyond the deadline. And it goes back to say that, the interest shall be raised on prime rate as well as Wall Street Jones as the end of the calendar year before the due date plus 2%. I think we got a good agreement there. Then we have to address the resignation of Ms. Lillian Davis from the Monroeville Police Department. I think that was one of the new ones we hired. We decided that it was in her decision to go ahead and resign at this time. Leave working for everybody. And then we do have a new hire, Ms. Eden Reed for the police department, and that's fill your dispatch. I'm voting against it. Okay, the other thing over here is, yeah, I just asked about doing the special meeting for Thursday, September 22nd at 4:30, so I think we pretty much got that under consideration. ATRC Meals on Wheels. I had a conversation with Mr. Fred Armstead yesterday, and he brought around a contract. Basically, in that contract, LDOT had gone through to refigure the amount to be charged for mileage that the city has in the past agreed for transportation to the senior center, Meals on Wheels, and all of that. And anyway, it ended up resulting in them asking for an increase of $7,000 to pay for those additional expenses. And so that is one of the things to go through and discuss on Thursday. The other issue on here was, and I haven't received anything, Michael was talking about paving of dirt roads, and I think that Paxton was going to be giving us some numbers.
Yeah, he should be, I got him, he's doing the streets where we applied for the Rebuild Alabama money. And we were gonna figure them in there, since we hadn't got that money yet, and then see what else we could do, but, I will tell you now, asphalt prices and the price of laying, just the price of laying asphalt has went up, it's more than double just for laying it. So, you know, we could be looking at $120, $130 a ton in cost this year. For last year, it was like 90 something dollars a ton.
Is that the county's fault for doing all this paving?
No. It's everybody, you know, there's so much going on right now, and the cost of fuel and all, the cost of fuel is a lot of it.
Okay. Well, I just passed out to everybody, I have a larger set. Mr. Ship has sent us a preliminary plans for the construction of the pavilion at Veterans Park. And, Michael and I did get an opportunity to meet with him and in discussions about it. There are some things on here that, we made suggestions about. He's going to send us some updated plans. But basically it's, I think, what, 40 by 80.
Yeah.
And, if you go through and the set that we were talking about is going to be the second set of plans that basically goes through and it lays out the bathrooms and everything on one side instead of being grouped there together. Because you lay it down on one side, it increases your space available. And also it will be turned so that the bathrooms and all that on that side will face over towards the splash pad. And the upper end of it will be open. So these were preliminary, for you guys to go through and take a look at. I do have a large set that if anybody wants to see, I'll be glad to provide to you, but this is what I was talking about. When you lay it out the long way. Okay. And then see this wall here is faced towards the splash pad. And that eliminates a lot of that, you know, we have an event out there and splash pads running, you got water running all down there, so the elevation would be changed, so we wouldn't have to worry about, the water and all that, because you have all your electrical outlets and everything that's needed.
And one other thing to keep in mind, if you notice on the plan, the posts are actually 8 by 8 instead of 6 by 6. And the trusses and all will be reinforced. That way we can meet the 110 mile an hour wind rate. We have to have at least 110 mile an hour wind rate. So that's the reason for that. And that's actually making the cost go up a little bit more than a regular pole barn because of that.
Take that sidewalk.
The only other thing I've got is that, is two projects, one's at Monroeville Park, one's at Veterans Park. We had already gone through, we talked about using ARP money at one time to resurface the pavilion area of Veterans Park, which is $19,900. Also the asphalt pay for that is $9,100. Add the 2 speed bumps going into Monroeville Park, $1,700, and to seal and stripe the parking lot. So that's one thing that needs to be done before it starts breaking down. And that's going to be $11,200. And at Veterans Park, we had broken playground equipment that the park was currently closed, and we replaced all that, and it'd be $7,500. And total cost of it would come up to $49,400. And I checked with Mr. Scott, and we can use ARP funds to do this. That'd be one thing that I would go back and be asking to get done. And ARP will not subject to the limitations. It's got to be spent by September 15th and all that.
Is there any way possible that you can get a splash pad down there from
Oh, that's the stuff. You think-
I don't,
you
I
don't
think
it'd
that
be
would be a different grant that we would apply for.
in order to get it?
Yeah. One
How
thing.
much was it? How much was it over there?
Over 100,000.
Over 100?
I think it's like 110 and
It was over 100, because we were talking about 80 or 90, and all of a sudden it was over 100.
Yeah, I think if we're able to go through and do these things, there would be a good update for all their part. And your committee get together, to see how they want to spend the rest of it.
Money, the civic club.
Let me see. Let's see. We got the. This is the cost. This resolution is for the cost for the,
The cost resolution for the lawns that he had to cut.
okay. And then the other thing I got a notice from the Alabama Department of Revenue for the 2023 severe weather preparedness tax holiday, which is February 24th to the 26th, 2023. And we have a deadline to notify them. I guess that we will be participating in January 24th, 2023. Is that right, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, because it says, please put it on your calendar to discuss and vote on this matter soon and notify the ADOR of the decision before January 24th, 2023. If I need a generator, that keeps me.
You know, probably get some buy this year on generators, it's no hurricane. Last year, Costco had like $400 off. Well, I'm talking no. And we will do
I know, but like we finishing up earlier than what I thought we would be, because I thought we were gonna be able to get into taking care of the general fund budget, so we're gonna have to do some revisions. I don't know, I don't have anything else. Council, do you have anything?
No, sir, does that, I think police chief left, does that get us pretty fully staffed once these hires are made in the PD or?
Yes, sir. Let's see, we have, and that's what dispatch.
We got an officer, Tyler, coming in,
I think she'll be two shifts.
2 patrol officers and dispatchers are full then.
Yeah, the dispatcher before.
Okay.
Dispatchers before. Oh, she don't have it on here, but they got one on here for Tyler Houston Signal.
Yeah,
You already
he's
told.
a new patrol officer. He goes by Tyler.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was the first one. Just want to make sure that you asked if that one fully staffed. All right.
Yeah, Tamika said there'll still be 2 patrol officers, sure. So
We're gonna have a fun day at the park next month. You gonna tell them more about that? It'll be, I did talk to, Mr. Power today, and he said it would be fine, we could use the park with that payment.
What day is that gonna be?
It's the 8th. To me,
Yes, ma'am.
we don't have to pay, we don't have to pay for the park.
Okay.
That's all.
That's all.
What time will it start, Ms. Bellman?
10 o'clock, 10 to 2.
Last meeting, we talked about getting a list of folks that had paid full price for a community house and didn't use it. Do
Remember
we
I
have that?
spoke to you about it, Mayor?
Hmm.
Remember I spoke to you about it? And you're about getting a list?
Yeah, what, see. I haven't seen it on. What, he had. How far back was it going? Was
2
it that
years.
long? 2 years?
Mhm.
What did we find on that?
Well, I can ask Amy to pull it, but when me and you, talked about it, we was basically saying that if we did that, it would still go back and have to pay these people. If we find any, we'll still have to pay them. Okay. Okay. She said we can go back a year, but not 2.
You go back to you. Okay,
Those records have already been disposed of, so we can probably go back a year, but not 2 years.
not 2 years.
No. I'm guessing with the 1 year, since that was just an audit year, we'll probably still have the 1 year, but beyond that, we've started disposing of records that we don't have to keep.
Can we see if we can go ahead and get that 1 year and get it coming back Thursday? I apologize for the confusion, not playing. There's several things going on, but we'll get that part. Okay. All right. Good. All right, yeah. Yeah, Mike.
Can we do a little, executive session for take good name and character of employee?
Mind talking about you.
Ain't about me this time.
Okay. Let me ask, Chief, you got anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Then we go through. Okay, do I have a motion to enter into executive session for good name and character?
I can move.
Okay, I have a second. All in favor?
Oh, are you not talking?